What's up, everybody? Welcome to Nation Conversation, episode 371. I am your host, Ryan. I am here by myself. No Bing Bong Boy, no Born Naughty. We lost half our episode last night due to a corrupted file. Boo-hoo. But I'm here. I'm going to give the little introduction, and then we'll go into our review of Pain and Gain. I'll let you know what happened in the eBay wars, and we'll hopefully be back with a new eBay wars next week with no corrupted files. We did open a pack of cards, which I don't know if we got all of that in or not. Okay, I can't remember. So episode 371 had a different rundown until this morning when I started recording, and I opened up Twitter and I see that Cody and Brandi Rhodes have left AEW, which is something that I certainly did not think was going to happen. I really didn't understand why, and I still don't understand why he would want to leave and why Brandy would want to leave either, especially Brandy. Like, it's very, very bizarre. But they have decided to leave. Dustin Rhodes is not leaving. It feels like a work, but it's probably not, I guess. WWE officials have already been in contact with Cody and Brandy. I don't understand why. I don't understand. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't get why you would want to leave for WWE if you're not considered a top guy. Maybe he's considered a top guy now. But I doubt it. They wouldn't let him not be Stardust. That's the original reason why he left. Cody left and went on the indies and did a whole run and built himself up, and then decided to say F you even more to WWE and make their own company. And the whole reason that AEW exists is because Cody Rhodes decided to do the bet with Dave Meltzer that led to All In, that led to AEW. So it's kind of shocking. It's really shocking that he's not there anymore. It's really shocking to me that Brandy is not there anymore, because her whole thing was she didn't want to be a ring announcer, and she got the opportunity to actually wrestle and be in the office and stuff and do all this cool stuff for AEW, and that she didn't have opportunities to do at everywhere else. And now she's going to go back and be a ring announcer? I can't imagine she's going to wrestle. Is she going to wrestle? I hope she does. I hope for her sake she does. I hope for Cody's sake he is considered a top guy if he goes over there and can be the American Nightmare and all that. Sure, hopefully that happens for him. But I'm very concerned. I'd be very concerned. Is it possible that he's just going to be an actor or something? Maybe, but probably not. I just think it's very odd. The internet's blowing up about it. Crazy. But Cody and Brandy out. It's a little sad. It's a little sad for me. I know people don't like Cody. I said this a couple weeks ago. I know people that hate Cody and they're annoyed by his attitude or whatever. I think it's a bummer. I think it's a bummer because he went out there and made this thing happen that so many people love, and a lot of the reason why it exists is because of him. And you can't take that away from him. You can never take that away from him. So as far as him moving to WWE, I don't understand the point of that. I don't know unless he's going in as a Brock Lesnar. I don't see it other than a mid-card guy. I don't see it. I don't know why we'd want to go into that environment. Why would you go into that environment? I don't understand it. Unless you have assurances, but why would you believe any of the assurances that they give you? Because we've seen them turn around and just fire people. We've seen them turn around and change gimmicks. We've seen them turn around and leave people in catering for dead. And they've already done this crap to Cody. Like, he knows the environment. I guess it's the devil you know. So why leave, I guess? Is the Young Buck Kenny Omega schism with Cody that bad that he can't be around them anymore, that he has to leave? Is it that? It's literally that bad? I can't imagine Tony Khan wouldn't have signed him to a regular deal. I can't imagine that wouldn't have happened unless he just thinks, we've got so many new guys. But I'm under the understanding that he would say, these 4 or 5 or 6 people that I brought in the very beginning are here until they decide not to be here. That's how I would take it. Like, these are my cornerstones of the company, and they're going to stay here and have a job here forever. And, maybe they won't be on top, but they'll be here doing stuff forever. And that's surprising to me. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what to think. I'm a little shell shocked. I think maybe we get a Cody at WrestleMania thing. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of behind the scenes drama we don't even know about. You knew this stuff was coming. You knew this. You knew this was going to happen. You knew eventually the sides were going to flip. Someone was going to flip out and leave, or be pissed off at Tony Khan, or be pissed off at the AEW or something and get out of there. But yeah, sounds like he's going to WWE for multiple sources. I'm not sure what Brandy's going to do. I assume she'll be his manager, I would say. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I wonder if it'll be a 3-year thing and then he'll be back. Maybe it's like an open door thing. Like, go test your waters, go test your metal one more time and then come back. I can't imagine the money wasn't similar, or for less dates or whatever, equal in some way. It's just bizarre to me. It's just a little weird to me. I'm interested to see what everybody else on the show thinks when we come back in next week. We'll bring this back up, but very interesting. Very shocking. Very shocking. I mean, Cody's style is very WWE. He was trained by WWE training schools and stuff, so he's got that style. He fits in well with that thing, but it's the booking and the craziness. If it was just a normal WWE landscape where they were just putting on good shows and, having people booking people in the right places, you know what? Maybe that makes a lot more sense. But considering how fucked up WWE is and how many shots Cody's taken at them for releasing people and doing stupid stuff, he's actually taken shots live on the air against WWE. So that's bizarre. There's just this little, I was talking to the Ghost Mike, there's this little 25% chance out there that this is for sure a work, and that maybe he does something, and maybe he does wrestle at WrestleMania or something, but that's it. And then he comes back. Like, it's not actually the end. It's just like a Brian Pillman situation or something. It's just weird. And Twitter's exploding. And after all the Stardust stuff and all that, I just can't imagine him going back to that environment, knowing what it is and knowing what's going to happen. I don't know. I just think of, like, if you ever had a job before where you wanted to move up and get promoted, and the job's like, oh yeah, but who's going to do the other jobs that you do now? And they just pigeonhole you in that thing. Going back to that company, they're just going to pigeonhole you right back into that thing, right? At least that's how I see it. That's my mindset. So why wouldn't they just pigeonhole him right back into, an IC mid-carder, even if it's not Stardust? Why wouldn't they do that? Also, they're not shelling out money for people. So why are they shelling out money for him now? That's another question mark. Like, they released all these guys from his era, like Miro, and they let FTR go and others from that group, his class or whatever, Cardona and Myers, all these people from his class and a little around it, Miro, I think I said Miro, but other people. It just makes no sense. And they're going to now turn around and break the bank open for him? Is it just so that they can hurt AEW? That's what their thinking is, that they're going to hurt them? I think it does open up some things. I think Brandy on TV hasn't been very good. Her segments have been rough for whatever reason. Part of the problem is I don't think they put her in the right situations. and like, okay, you need to limit this and this, and you need to work on this and this, and let's, when you come in as a top person and you can't work on top, it's going to be hard for them to say no to that, I guess. But I don't imagine you see Brandi Rhodes wrestle. Do you? I can't imagine it. I would be shocked if they did that. They turn the page on that, because they were always not letting her wrestle in WWE. She talked about that, so that would be surprising to me. I don't know. I don't know what is the big match that he's going to go in there for? Like, what is he going to go? Who's he going to go wrestle? Who's the person? Seth? Is it AJ? Is that who he wants to go work with? Like, what is he going to go do? What creative is there? Is he just going to come in as American Nightmare and just keep the party going? I don't know. I imagine they're going to slap some gimmick on him, right? They're not going to let him come in as Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, I don't think. Or if they do, he's going to have to change something. Is he going to be allowed to have his blonde hair? Like, these are a lot of this stuff is up in the air. And it may just be let's kick AEW in the nuts here. Let's take advantage of this and kick them in the nuts and hurt their product and knock out one of their main guys. I mean, he's got 1 million action figures, 1 million this and that, 1 million shirts, a lot of merchandise, reality shows, all this stuff that goes through him. Being the mainstream guy that is breaking out, like the John Cena kind of guy from AEW. If you like him or you hate him, whatever it is, he's got these opportunities to bring more eyeballs to the product, and now they don't have that. So I think that does hurt. And the legacy of it, of him building this, I think that does hurt. I think that hurts the company. Maybe not a ton, but I think it hurts them. His last match was pretty fucking awesome, that ladder match. Maybe he's not the greatest in-ring worker of all time, but that ladder match was pretty damn good with Sammy Guevara. So, he has the ability to get there. It's just shocking to me. It's just shocking to me. And that's why that 25% chance of it being a crazy work is out there for me, because it just doesn't make any sense. Unless he comes out and like records a podcast or gives us some explanation that makes any sense of this, then I'm still keeping that 25% work thing out there. I'm still keeping it out there, because even though if like reputable sources are saying that he's done and he's talking to WWE and all this stuff, it still feels odd. It still feels like a very odd choice. So we will wait and see. I was fascinated to see what the hell happens with Cody and Brandi Rhodes. Very, very surprising. Okay, we'll talk more about that next week. A couple of the things that we lost in our corrupted episode was Keith Lee and Switchblade Jay White showing up on AEW. Keith Lee was awesome. His song is awesome. He got to be Keith Lee. He got to chuck dudes. His perfect opponent was out there. Isaiah Cassidy got to wing him all around the ring and then beat him and Mark Quinn up. It was great. His song was great. His presentation was great. He was over like crazy. I cannot wait to see. It's a great signing. I'm so happy to see him back in this environment where he can shine, just shine. I mean, he was a double champ in NXT, so, I mean, he shined there, but I assume his confidence was down. I assume, you get released, you got to deal with all this stuff, you get told you're Bearcat, you change your name, you told him you can't do any high spots, all this stuff, like, it just makes no sense. What made him special, you take it all away. So now it's all back. So I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see what Switchblade does if he ends up fighting Kenny eventually. What happens with him and the Bucks and Cole and all the Bullet Club merging. Very fun. The New Day aren't allowed to be called the New Day anymore. This is the landscape that Cody is going into. The New Day, they want to bring back the New Day, but they don't want to call him the New Day. So it's not the New Day anymore. It's Big E and Kofi Kingston, not the New Day. Oh my God. Good luck, Cody. Good luck. Also, Mustafa Ali can't be released. He said, I'll see you in 2.5 years. 2.5 years left on his deal, and they will not release him. Just free Ali at this point. Come on. You're going to bring in Cody? Just cut him. Who cares? Matt Cardona, your new NWA champ. Very exciting. He now has like 12 belts, so good for NWA, good for Matt Cardona. And I am looking forward to seeing him work there. I hope that they can start building themselves back up, and this is the start of building themselves back to where they were in 2020 before the pandemic started. 2019 and 2020, I guess. We made some picks on Elimination Chamber. It was how many Goldberg locker room headbutts are there going to be for his match? I forget what the numbers were. And how many planes are going to be delayed, quote unquote, from Saudi Arabia. We also made picks on that. So keep track of those. No matches, though. Segment to be named later. I forget exactly what Bill said. I can't remember. In the eBay Wars, we did a WWF New York menu. It was fun. It was funny. You'll never hear it. The tie was broken. Bill is your new eBay War champion. He walked out. Born Naughty, Bill Cashin walked out with the eBay Wars title. We'll be back next week with more insanity on the eBay Wars with Bill as the champion. And now we're going to go into, we'll bring the boys in for the part that actually did come through, and we'll talk about Pain and Gain. We'll do Wally's Top 5. We'll do the quick hitters. We'll do the tweets of the week, and then find out what the review is going to be for next week when hopefully our recordings actually decide to work. All right. Thanks for listening. Peace out. Born Naughty Bill Cashin, Bing Bong Boy Wally, and me take over.
So I've taken a 12-0 lead on Wally.
Yeah, you're up by 100. Anyway, hold on. This is Wally's favorite wrestler.
Rey Mysterio.
Correct. Ooh, we got it. Oh, boy.
Stop looking at the cards, Wally. Stop showing him the cards, Ryan.
You saw it?
No.
But he's staring at
You
them.
saw
I'm
it?
staring at the back of the cards.
No, come on. Don't look over here. All right.
Fine.
This is a very special card. A 2012 Superstar card with the guy who was eaten by zombies.
Randy Orton.
Bray Wyatt.
Nope. Eaten by zombies.
Oh,
Eaten.
The Miz.
Oh,
The Miz.
Mike
Look at
Miz
that
and Zayn and Arian.
Grand Slam champion.
Oh, that's right.
Fucking God.
What was the
With
third belt? The U.S.
Bret
title?
Hart looking on from ringside as guest ring announcer. The Miz challenged Christian for the IC title on the 1000th episode of Raw, and he won, making him a Grand Slam champion.
What's the Grand Slam again?
Having won WWE Heavyweight, United States Tag Team, and
tag team.
this IC title.
At this point, it just means 4 belts because they have
Yeah.
1,000.
Yeah,
Who,
I think there's more now, but
Who was his tag team?
John Morrison.
Miz and Morrison.
Johnny Impact, Johnny everything, Johnny Nitro.
Okay,
Johnny Wrestling? No, that's Gargano.
Different, yeah.
different Johnny. Topps Allen Ginter Special Legends card.
Okay.
HH.
Not a legend.
Damn it.
Not a legend.
In fact, I don't know if he'll ever.
Tommy Rich.
Wildfire. He probably won't. I guess he probably will be a Hall of Famer just because he's never going to leave. Been there forever.
Sheamus?
Not. He is currently active. Not a legend.
I can't remember his name.
But he's been there forever.
He's friends with Little Jimmy and Carmelo.
No, not R-Truth.
Okay.
Our Truth was last week.
No, not
Or
R-Truth.
the week before.
This is a legend card, but it's not a legend.
He's been there long
Been
enough
there forever.
to be a legend card, though. Huh?
One would say maybe he's won of quite a few belts.
Randy Orton?
One of each,
No, he's
possibly.
definitely going to be a
One
Hall
of each.
Famer.
He beat Christian on the 1000th episode.
The Miz?
Miz?
The
Again?
Miz!
What?
Another Miz! I don't know who got that one.
He did.
I got 2 Miz's.
Back
So
to
wait, are you
shit.
not going to put him with Sid
No.
Vicious
No, he doesn't belong in that group.
and Mr. Perfect?
No.
The
No.
same person.
Guess what? We've got another Tops, Allen and Ginter. Apparently, these aren't legends.
The Miz.
It's not the Miz. Not three Mizes. This guy is...
Is he actually a legend?
He's active. He's not a legend.
He's not a legend.
He's not a legend.
Sheamus.
But he's a top guy.
Randy Orton.
Neither one of those. Top guy.
Roman
Shane
Reigns.
McMahon.
Not Shane
Seth
McMahon.
Rollins.
Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins. All right, well, you saw this last card, didn't you?
No.
This guy is released.
Keith Lee.
Was released. But he was released in a weird way. It wasn't like we've come to terms with the 19 people we're going to release.
Who just got backdoored?
There was an incident, and this person
Velveteen
was,
Dream.
let go. No, not him. And there was an incident with him. This was a lesser incident.
Oh, okay.
Seaman Canyon.
No, Seaman Canyon.
Canyon Seaman,
like,
whatever that
a
is.
recent release? Recently?
He was released recently.
Ish.
His
Okay.
non-compete is not up.
Oh.
But there was an incident that was happening with his release.
Hardy.
You're right, Jeff Hardy.
Oh.
And you said you didn't see that.
No, I didn't. Swear to God, I did not see that one.
Uh-huh.
All right, those are the cards.
But I won
for
again.
This week. Bill, you win
You
again.
can go for
I
your
did see-
skunk next week.
I
You
saw Rey
got-
Mysterio during technical difficulties.
We got unplugged somehow. Anyway, that was not a good pack.
Aaron Miz.
That was a bad pack, right?
Not a good pack, yeah.
Bad, rough
So we'll
pack.
put Tamina with the legends. 'Cause she's like,
Oh, my God. Tamino's legend. All right, we watched, for the review this week, Pain and Gain,
starring
Starring
The Rock
Dwayne-
Johnson.
the Dwayne Johnson.
Rock the Rock Johnson.
Dan Hep.
Mm-hmm.
All
So
right.
this was a weird movie
Oh, boy.
It was funny.
based on a true story, which if even 25% of this is actually
More than 25.
it's
It's
wild.
very true. It's very true.
And I would say that Michael Bay is probably the right director for this.
In a weird way, yes. He's got
is
to.
so absurd.
He's got to have done a better movie than this, but this is one of his best things that he's done, for sure. I mean, I don't know if this is necessarily like one of the greatest movies of all time, but is very,
No, definitely not. But
very watchable and
it's sort of like
and
Empire State,
interesting.
except actually better by a lot.
But yeah, it's not at all like Empire State because it's actually
Well, it's
somewhat
it's
engaging.
about a real crime, and The Rock is in it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's a lot like
Okay.
Empire
In that
State.
way, it's like Empire State. In no other way, is it?
Well, they made this apparently on a $26 million budget, which I feel like for Michael Bay is minuscule. That's not that
Hardly
many explosions.
There was one explosion.
There's one. He had to get it in.
He got it in.
And then box office was $86 million.
So
So
a big hit.
I guess that's a hit.
Really?
Yeah, because they made 40-something million off of it.
I'm just surprised
Yeah, they
that
made like $60 million.
it made that much.
So we start with Mark Wahlberg talking about the American dream and whatever, but he's running from the police. He shows him doing like the oddest sit-ups on the side of a building.
Yeah.
Oh, right at the beginning.
Then he hops off and he starts running, and as he's talking about things, he gets hit by a cop car.
Yep.
Absolutely smashed, breaks the window. So then we kind of start there, go back to tell the story. We find out that it's based on a true story, happened in, what was it, 94, 95?
Yep.
Um,
October of 94 to June of 95, I believe it was.
So Mark Wahlberg is playing the role here of Daniel Lugo, a real person. And he basically he talks about how much fitness is important to him, blah, 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 blah. He works in a gym. He's a personal trainer.
Yes.
At a Miami weightlifting gym.
Yes.
And he talks about how he wants to be like a super American, but nobody will take him seriously because he's a personal trainer, which, oddly enough, women don't want you to just hit on them as you're training them.
Surprising, right?
Yeah. So he...
That's like don't hit on the bartender or the waitress. Don't do that. That's weird.
Oh, that's also weird?
Yes, that's also weird.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. Don't do that.
So we basically find out that he goes to Rob Corddry, who's playing a dude named John, who owns the Sun Gym.
Yep.
And we find out that he's recently been released from prison because he was ripping people off in what appeared to be a pyramid scheme.
No, I think it was just he
Stealing money
pretended,
from old
he
people?
pretended like he was gonna get them a good return on investment, and he was just pocketing the money.
Yeah. But Rob Corddry doesn't care because he says, I can like triple your membership in like 3 months.
Yep.
So he's like, all right, fine.
Which he does.
And he said, and he does it. He says like a free wax with your first when you join.
Yep.
And it shows one girl
Yeah.
with a rather large bush hanging out of her workout clothes.
Oh, you got a big
Yes.
bush.
Yes.
You can clean that up. And then he says, and also he made a rule where strippers could go for free,
Yep.
and that very much
Oh.
helped membership.
Yeah.
We meet his friend, Adrian, who's played by Anthony Mackie.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah.
find out that he is a bodybuilder who's not that big, though. So he's using steroids to get big. And we later find out, like, he came in as a fat guy with 26% body fat or something.
Yeah.
And got him down to 6. But basically, he uses steroids, and now he can't get it up.
Yep. Can't get it up.
Yeah. And he just keeps talking about how he wants money, he wants a lifestyle, he has all these rich people that he trains, and he hates them because they have stuff that he doesn't. And one of them is Tony Shalhoub, who has another name, but he looks like Tony Shalhoub. So
It is Tony.
yeah.
Right.
And he basically talks about how he like hates all these people who don't care about their bodies, but Tony's like, yeah, I make all this money by running a sandwich shop. It's like,
Yeah.
well, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and then he goes into it, and it's like, was it? He's got other stuff,
Yeah.
but he's most proud of the sandwich shop.
Right, but he's got
It's
all
like,
sorts
really,
of stuff, and he
dude?
talks about his money in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
So
Money offshore accounts.
Daniel, Mark basically is like, he's up to something, and he's got all this money, and that's kind of what I want. Then we see Ken Jeong doing a Johnny Woo video, which is a name I vaguely remember. Johnny Woo. So
It's
I'm sure not a real
it's
person,
based
but
off
it's
of
based on somebody.
it's based off a real guy,
Yeah.
but it's not Johnny Woo. It's
No.
something like that.
Yeah. So basically, he's a motivational speaker who just gets up on stage and says like, if you dream it, you can do it. But he does it by like yelling in your face and flipping you off.
Yeah.
And then you pay for them to watch these speeches.
So he goes to one of these things. He gets pulled out of the crowd specifically. He gets all hyped up, and he decides, all right,
I'm a doer.
I'm a doer.
I'm a doer.
Are
I'm
you
a doer.
Are you a don'ter or a doer?
And what do doers do? They kidnap
Steal.
and rob people.
Yep.
Steal from people.
Yep.
And he basically says, we're going to kidnap this rich guy, and in doing so, we're going to make a lot of money. He's just going to sign over everything he's got, and that'll be the end of it. Easy peasy.
Of course.
He needs more people to help, so he recruits the new guy who just started working there, Paul, a.k.a. Rock the Dwayne Johnson.
Rock the Dwayne.
He also, we find out, has just gotten out of prison. And he spots us right away. He's like, the way he's doing chin-ups, he's like, oh, you worked out in prison, huh? And he's like, yeah, don't worry about it. Me too. And we find out that he was in jail because he had a real bad cocaine problem.
Oh, yes.
Uh-oh.
Yep. And then he found Jesus.
Found Jesus in prison. He stayed clean. Now he wants to just work for Jesus.
And then he beat the shit out of people in prison after finding Jesus.
Yeah, he did God's
Yeah,
work.
Right.
So he moves to Florida because he had no warrants there. Moves in with a priest that somebody told him about, and got a job working at the gym because he's obviously the biggest guy there. So he basically tells these two guys, hey, this is what we're going to do. You guys are going to help me. Mackie wants to. He very quickly, what's his name? Adrian. He's like, okay, I'll basically do it because I need to get boner treatments.
Yeah.
And,
afford the boner.
and Mark
boner
Wahlberg has
shots.
this big thing where he's like, yeah, you like those big women and they want dessert. And it stresses you out to have to pay for dessert, but that's part of the deal. And then Rock will not do it until it shows the priest like molesting him, basically, and then he beats the crap out of the priest.
Yep.
And he's like, "Oh, okay. Now I did one crime. I'll do all the crimes."
I'm back in.
So we have the Sun Gym Gang, which is what they in real life became known as.
Right.
They try to kidnap they try to go to Kershaw's house to Tony Shalhoub. Kershaw's his name.
Oh my god.
They try to go to Tony Shalhoub's house and like he's got like a woman who works there and like his maid, so watch out for her. And he's hosting like a dinner. There's a million people there.
I love that Adrian says something like, "So Navy SEALs could do this operation in about 50 seconds, but with our superior body skills, we could do it in about 40 seconds." I'm like, are you fucking serious?
Yep.
How dumb are these
they're
guys?
athletic.
That's the whole point of the movie. These dumbos try to commit this crime, and they're so
Which
stupid.
I actually thought Rock played the character perfect because it's an over-exaggerated version of a human being, which I feel like is what this guy would have been.
Yeah.
It's two guys. The Rock is technically based off of two different guys.
Which I did try to look it up afterwards, and they named a fourth guy, and I was like, I wonder who that was. But apparently, it was the
they
other
just
guy that Rock
combined
was
them
in.
and made them one character, I think.
Yeah. So they try to get him at his house. That doesn't work. They then try to get him in like a parking lot, and they like go to the wrong car.
He's going out
Dummies.
to his car, and they
They're
they
wearing
go to the wrong
ninja
receipt.
outfits. They're wearing a
Yeah.
Green
Alien
Man suit.
Yeah. That is fake.
Because and he sees them, and he's just like, "What are you idiots doing?" And like cusses at them.
That was fake. They did dress up in like weird, like black outfits, but they did not wear like ninja Halloween costume.
Yeah.
That wasn't real.
So eventually, they just get him at his deli, drag him out of there, bring him to a warehouse. Which was this one of his own warehouses? I was confused as to who owned
No,
this.
I
Sure.
think they like knew somebody who had a warehouse.
So they kidnap him. They bring him there. Rock's there waiting, and he's just playing with the literal wall of dildos that he finds. Again, I feel
There's a
like
lot
this
of
is
dildos
probably for the movie.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But
yeah, I don't think that was the
They bring him here, and they say like, "We're going to torture him until he signs over." They have like releases to his like his home and his like
his money.
work
His
and all
affair.
his money.
Yeah, his yeah.
So they bring him there, and they disguise their voices, and then Kershaw smells him because earlier in the movie he has made fun of his terrible cologne.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he basically cusses him out, and then he gets like a little monologue where he basically says like, "My dad like went through all this stuff and escaped and brought me to America,
Yeah.
and these idiots are not going to break me."
My dad. I think he said my dad survived the Holocaust, so
Yeah.
like, I can deal with this.
Yeah. So right away he says like, "I knew I was in trouble once I actually said his name."
Yeah.
But he basically calls him out and is like, "I know who you are." So then Kershaw is, and they keep talking. The other guys talk about how he's in charge, and Mackey's like, "Oh, he's a genius. I don't know how he figures this out." And then Rock's like, "He's an idiot, but I just kind of went along with it." And he actually says in the movie,
I thought it was the other way around. I thought The Rock believed he was a genius, and Mackie
No.
thought he was an idiot.
No, Mackie like will do anything for Marky Mark.
"Yeah,
Okay.
And Rock is like, I'm suspicious, but whatever. I have nothing else to do.
yeah."
Okay.
So he just starts like changing it, and he's like, "All right, we're just gonna like keep him here and torture him until he does it."
Which is like, Marky Mark tells The Rock, Dwayne, that nobody's gonna get hurt. Like,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
not gonna hurt anybody. It's gonna be easy. We're just gonna get him to sign over his fortune and like send him on his way, and nothing's gonna happen because that's how stupid they are.
Yep.
Thank you.
Beer me that beer. That's what you needed to say.
Gets a laugh like a quarter of the time.
Beer me that beer.
So yeah, they make him make calls so that he at least has an alibi that people aren't looking.
Which is
for.
really funny because there's a part where Rock is like in his apartment or in somebody's
Yeah.
apartment, and the answer machine keeps picking up, and he's like, "Yes, it's me, and I'm totally fine, but I'm not. They can't have me."
His name is Danny Lugo.
They're trying to make him set his outgoing message.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's
that's
what it
what-
is. Yeah, and Rock has to keep resetting.
And then we get like they're taking shifts with him, and Adrian just wants to like torture him
Yep.
and tase him. He loves the taser, which is
Yep.
how they got him in the first place. But Dummy Rock befriends him because he pretends to be like a like-minded soul, and then Rock converts him from Judaism to
Yes,
Catholicism.
yes. That's a funny scene where he puts his hand on his
my
head,
God.
and Tony Shalhoub thinks he's about to get killed, and he's like, I absolve you of your sins or
You
whatever.
accept the Lord and
Yeah,
Savior
and he's
Jesus
like,
Christ.
Yeah. Sure.
I love how that starts because they were kind of buddies, and then Rock goes, "You're a Jew, right?" And Tony Shalhoub just like his character just deflates. He's like, "Why?"
Yeah. And then he grabs him by the head, and you see Tony Shalhoub like shrink.
That was funny.
Yeah. So then now they're buddies because he's just like very clearly manipulating this
Dum.
actual real like developmental issue dum-dum.
Yeah.
But they eventually torture him enough that he does sign over very crudely all of his stuff.
He
Like, it
signs in
seemed
the
like-
middle of the paper.
Yeah, because they have him blindfolded and he's just writing his name.
It seemed like it took like a couple weeks at least.
Yeah, they held him
Yeah.
and they tortured him.
And then they try to bring it into the bank.
Yeah. And you're like,
Like,
okay, this is
weird.
yep. You need to have this notarized, and it's like, what does
does
that
notary
mean?
He doesn't even know what a notary is.
He's like, you need to have this like signed by a witness. Okay, you do that then. He's like, yeah. So you and your friend come in, and we'll do it. He's like, he's out of the country. And the guy's like, well, that's a problem. Then we find out though that Rob Corddry's character is also a notary.
Yep.
And he still doesn't know what that means. But he
Can I borrow your stamp?
Yeah. It's like,
No, you can't borrow my stamp.
but rather than let him borrow a stamp, he gets convinced to actually just sign off on everything.
He won't do it, but then a sponsor pulls out of his bodybuilding
So he's like, I'll get you a new
thing.
sponsor.
And the deli is going to sponsor.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he notarizes whatever they want.
Yep.
So they end up, somehow the bank looks at these crappy signatures like, well, this works for me. And they sign off on everything and they get the money. Now, I'm sure it wasn't as bad as they made it look in the movie. But so they have all his assets. They send his family to live elsewhere, and they get his house and his business and like $5 million cash or something. And then
Which
they're
they
like,
split.
but he knows who we are, so now we have to kill him.
Yep.
And Rock the Rock does not like this.
Rock the Rock.
So he's like, nope, we can't do this.
But you said no one was going to get hurt. I said it, and I meant it at the time.
Yeah. Oh, also the side plot here is they can see that the Rock is like being weird and friendly with him.
Yeah.
So this Russian model-ish that they meet in a bar.
Yes.
No, she's a stripper.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah, she absolutely is a stripper at a strip club.
Yeah.
And that Marky Mark convinces he is a director, so he can sleep with her. Then tells her, "No, you're right. I'm not a director. I actually am a CIA agent.
Yes.
I need you to be a field agent and like team up with Rock." And basically hands her off to Rock, and he's like, "Here you go, Rock. Here's your new girlfriend."
Yep. And this Russian girl, she's from Russia, and like thinks it's going to be her big break.
Yeah.
Oh, the poor thing.
This is a real person, too.
Yep.
Yes. So they end up getting all the stuff, and they have all this money now, and they have to kill Kershaw, which no one really wants to do. But Marky Mark's like, we can't. And he knows who we are, and right away Mac is like, "Yep, we got to do it."
Yep.
But no one wants to do it, so they get him real drunk, even though he says he's sober at least. And then they do like the cartoon thing and crash his car, like by putting a thing on the gas pedal,
Yep.
driving him into front loader.
Yeah.
They're trying to make it look like he died drunk driving.
Yeah.
Which there's going to be a giant metal pole near the gas pedal.
They're going to find that.
Yeah.
They're going to find him tied up.
Doesn't matter because he survives the crash because they seatbelt him into the car. So then they light the car on fire, which he just walks away from.
Yep.
I don't believe this last part happened. I think they left him after the first part, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they actually drove around.
Because then they run him over with the car. Then he's laying on the ground, and they back the tire up over his face, and he
I
survives.
don't know if that part was true or not.
And they
I couldn't
like
find
the
info on
Rock
that.
is the one who's driving, and
Yeah,
they're
and-
convincing him.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "I can't believe we just did that." And Mark goes, "No, you did that.
Yeah.
Like I just gave you out. You did that." It's like Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, he's
Marky
putting it
Mark
all on
wants
him.
to kill him. Rock doesn't, but he
Yeah.
makes Rock kill him, basically.
And then says, "You killed him."
And then, no, you killed him, not us.
So he goes to the hospital where he tells the cops, like, I was kidnapped by a bodybuilding ninja and a bodybuilding alien. And they stole my money, and then they ran me over with a car. And the cop's like, "Oh, and you're from here,
Colombia, right?"
Yeah. And so they basically say, like, A, we don't believe him. B, he's got to be a criminal.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're full racist.
Yep.
So they don't do anything. They just leave him and don't. And they actually go to the hospital and find out that he's there, but that he's talked to the cops and they don't buy it. So now Mark's like, we're in the clear. They think he's an idiot.
Yeah.
So now Marky Mark moves into his house and starts a neighborhood watch. Rebel Wilson, works in the place where Adrian goes to get his penis injections.
Yes.
And she sees his penis and is like, it's smaller than I would have guessed.
It's not great.
Why not?
I've had bigger.
Yeah.
It's not great.
They end up getting married and buying a house and a dog, which later we find out was...
No. It wasn't... They didn't buy that dog.
They stole
it.
Tony Shalhoub's
That was Tony
racing
Shalhoub's
dog,
race dog.
his greyhound. And then Rock ends up together with the stripper, just buying her anything she wants and doing copious amounts of cocaine.
All the coke.
Spends his share of the money in what seems to be 2 months.
Yeah.
That's sad that happened to that guy, and it took that long for him to get them behind bars. They lived in his house for months.
Yeah, seriously.
So Tony Shalhoub calls Ed Dubois, who is a retired cop who has a PI service.
Mm-hmm.
Ed Harris.
Yep. Doesn't believe him, but of course eventually does come in to he checks into it a little bit.
Yeah.
And sees oh, these idiots look like they have money for no reason. This is
And,
probably a thing.
They check out on the description too. He's a bodybuilder. He's like, all right, well, at least he might not have been lying about that.
Right. So he does end up taking the case.
Mm-hmm.
And then Doyle has really spiraled. He's spent all his money. So he starts trying to rob people.
Dwayne the Dwayne decides
he tries to rob an armored car,
which is a silly
to
scene.
pay for his cocaine habit. And we find out he owes a hotel $47,000 or something.
He grabs at least one of them is a change bag. It's a bag full of change.
How do you know that?
Because the bag gets shot and change gets
that's true.
Spilled everywhere. Yes.
And the other bag explodes the green goo on him.
Yeah.
Yes.
He tries to open it up in a hair salon. Somehow he doesn't get arrested though.
He doesn't get killed either.
He jumps into a river and swims away.
And he gets a toe shot off.
Yeah.
He gets a toe shot off.
Which he goes back into the back down to the bottom of the river and picks it up.
Yeah.
To try to get it sewn back on, I assume. Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
So he shows up at the wedding of Adrian, all coked out, covered in the green dye.
Yeah.
With a toe in his finger.
Which is funny
holding
because
his toe.
He has a goatee in it, and his goatee is dyed green. Marky Mark comes over and is like, why is your beard green?
So he's like, we need to do another job. Marky Mark's like, nope, dummy, we don't. Yeah. And Adrian's like, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I just got married and bought a house. I could use some more money.
Yeah. And those dick suggestions aren't going to pay for themselves.
Yep. So they're going to go after Griga.
The porn guy.
Some porn king, of Miami.
Who, at one point, he insulted The Rock in a nightclub.
Yeah.
He was going after the Russian girl.
Yeah, he wants...
Yeah. And The Rock was like, no, that's my girl. We're in the CIA together.
Oh, he runs, phone sex operator. So they propose, they pitch to him that they want to sell to India because it's a big market.
Yeah.
So he takes a meeting with them and basically says I want to talk to whoever's actually running this company.
Yeah, I want to talk to
you guys are clowns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seem like a nice guy, but you're a clown. So Marky Mark gets mad, and this is at Adrian's house.
Yeah.
Punches him, beats him up. He ends up falling into the weight set, and then the weights fall on his head. Yeah. And he die.
Yeah, he did.
He dies.
Then his wife, who happens to be there with giant boobs.
Right.
Giant fake boobs.
Yes.
I love the scene where he goes, phone sex operating business.
Give him your moan.
This is my favorite worker, who's also my wife. Go ahead, show him what you got. She's like, and that's it. That's it.
She moans a little bit.
And then he says the thing about the the fake boobs where he's like, I had
an extra 500 cc's or something. Yeah.
I had extra put in.
But so she sees what's going on. So Adrian tranks her. For some reason, he has copious amounts of horse tranquilizer.
Yeah.
I can't remember why that is. Maybe
I think it's because of Rebel
Wilson.
She works, but she's like in the medical field. I don't know why she would have horse tranquilizer.
Maybe to numb his penis or something.
But
maybe for the dog.
I don't know. For whatever reason, they do it to her a couple times because she sees what happened.
Yeah,
and they kill her too.
Yep,
she dies from it.
So now Mackie is. So now all three of them have murdered somebody.
Yep.
But they're gonna hide this one. So
who did Rock kill?
Rock killed.
He thought he killed Tony Shalhoub,
but he didn't actually kill him.
Yeah. At one point, he's talking to Marky Mark, and he goes, "I know what it feels like to think you have killed somebody," and he just looks at him like, "I did kill somebody."
You must feel really bad.
You must feel worse because you actually did kill somebody.
So they're like, "All right, we'll get him out of the house," and they basically say like, "You clean up this carpet because this is covered in blood." Mm-hmm. We'll take him back to another warehouse.
Same warehouse.
Oh, it's the same one?
They try to go to Griega's house to get into his safe.
That's when they tranquilize her.
Yeah.
The second time.
They can't. Yeah, they're going to go steal his money.
What is the combo? 28, 12, 22.
Yeah.
She didn't give us the right number. Yeah, of
you
course.
wrote it down
She's
wrong.
Like, horse tranquilized.
Yeah. So now that they're both dead and they have no money, they have to cover this up. So they take the two dead bodies to a warehouse, and then Anthony Mackie and Wahlberg go to Home Depot to get stuff to dismember these bodies. They get lye and they get chainsaw and all sorts of things.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Big barrels.
Yep. Meanwhile, Rock is there with the dead bodies, which he doesn't like. But naturally, he goes like, all right, well, they don't need this stuff. So he robs the dead bodies of jewelry and such so that he can sell it for coke.
More cocaine.
Yep.
And
also, she has coke, so yeah, he does that. They get back and they notice he's like taking the wedding ring off and stuff.
Fucking junkie.
So they go to but they don't know how to operate a chainsaw.
No.
They blame it on the fact that it's made in China, of course, because they're American.
Mm-hmm.
And they get her hair caught in it, and then it doesn't work. So then at some point, they do go back to exchange the chainsaw.
After they've cut off the hands.
But they first take an axe and just start chopping.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So then they trying to figure out what to do. They're cleaning them also.
Mm-hmm. They're Windexing their fingerprints off of these people.
Yes.
What the hell?
What are you gonna do? But what are we gonna do about their fingerprints? What do you mean? Like the fingerprints that are on their hands? I don't know. I'll think of something.
Let's burn them.
So they have Rock barbecue the hands to get the fingerprints off, and also Adrian suggests that they take out her implants because medical stuff is worth money these days.
Yeah.
They do not remove the implants.
No.
That becomes important at one point.
That becomes important later.
But they basically chop them up, put them in barrels, and throw them into a river.
Yeah.
They also they return the chainsaw, but they really did that in real life.
Yeah.
They returned the chainsaw.
It's got blood on it. It's got the woman's hair in it.
In real life, they hadn't done that part yet.
Oh, okay.
They just didn't put oil in it, so it didn't work. So then they tried to return it during the crime. And then also the barbecuing of the hands, that was real. And that was really happening out front of that fucking warehouse.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they come back and he's out front.
He's out front waving at neighbors, barbecuing.
Yeah, and they're like, you need to get out of sight. What are you doing? That really happened.
Yep.
Both of those things.
So meanwhile, all this is all going on. These crimes are starting to be discovered. They find out that Griega's house is dead, and there's a finger or toe.
No, it's the Rock's toe.
The Rock's toe is
because
there.
he brought it with him and gave it to the dog. Like,
so they're discovering that people are missing and people are dead. Now the guy's story actually seems like it's real, so they're connecting it to the other murders. Doyle goes back to the church because he has had enough apparently. But they basically, between the two murders now, they put a plan in place to arrest everyone at the same time, basically. Mm-hmm. So we see raids of Anthony Mackie's at home taking a very long shower. His wife, Rebel Wilson, looks very sad.
Yeah, because she found her rug all torn up, and then
instead of cleaning
blood
it,
still.
he just cut the chunks of blood out of the carpet. There's giant missing chunks.
And then we get the Rock gets arrested at the church, hanging out talking to the priest, who's like, "Yeah, we're good. Like, I get why you beat me up. We're fine."
Yeah.
And then we go back to when Marky Mark is getting hit by the car in the opening scene. Somehow he manages to still run away and escape, though.
Yeah.
Which apparently is true because he gets into a boat and heads to the Bahamas, where Tony Shalhoub's the rest of his money is.
Yeah.
Because he's going to go there to steal it now. The cops in the movie, led by Tony Shalhoub himself,
which is not real. Not
show
accurate.
up to, and they like catch him at the bank.
Yep.
He runs away, but they do eventually get him.
Tony Shalhoub hits him with a car.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because movies.
Into through a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he even has like a line like,
Yeah.
"Doesn't feel good to get hit by a car,
Yeah,
does it?"
Yeah. Ugh. Not great. Not a great scene.
I mean, it's probably a better ending than him just getting picked up by the Bahamian.
They needed
Bahamian
something. I guess they needed
police.
something there to tie it back in together, but
And then they also arrest Rob Corddry.
right.
Messy. What's his name?
While he's having his strong bodybuilder competition.
Yeah, right in the middle of it.
And they say like they basically say like this trial was a clown show in and of itself.
Yeah.
And it shows Adrian's wife. She's like, "I divorced him last night. He has a tiny penis."
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
she does not hold back on him. They show the chainsaw in the court.
Right.
And the breast implants.
Yeah, and they say they actually trace like the serial number off of one of the breast implants.
Yeah, it was like the first case that they've ever used that as evidence because they could.
And I think I saw they had like 100 witnesses and like 1,200 pieces of evidence in this or something. We see that The Rock has like another attack of conscience, wants to go to jail, and confesses to everything. So he actually gets a 15-year sentence, which in real life he serves 7 of, and I think to this day is like a free man roaming the streets.
Oof.
The other 2 get
Death sentences.
Yeah.
which I don't believe any. I think Marky Mark is still on death row, and Adrian is. I think I read his thing got overturned. Not his, like, just the death row part of it, but he could potentially be, like, retried and put back on, but he's just rotting in jail as well.
Yeah.
And then Rob Corddry got 15 years or something.
And died
in prison before he
Yeah.
could get out.
And then I think the stripper got in trouble for something, too, but not as much, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're dead. Both of them were on death row, and then
Oh, no, she's not charged. Doyle's stripper girlfriend is not charged.
both of them were on death row, but both of them aren't on death row anymore. Or it's like,
Does Florida still have the death penalty?
there was something that overturned it,
I think
and it was
one of them got-
nationally, maybe.
but, like, I think in Florida they do, but I don't think they use it.
It's they still have 3 strikes, I think.
So I think they could potentially
think
get
there was-
killed, but I think at
Yeah.
this point they're just in jail.
I think there was
Yeah.
something that overturned it that made it like
Yeah.
basically
Basic life without
They would have to get
impossible for
retried.
yeah,
Yeah.
basically impossible to be killed.
So yeah, even though this was very clearly movied up, this was a wild story.
Most of it is true. Lots and lots of it.
Now
is
I've only seen this movie several hours ago.
Yes.
But I will be doing some googling of some of
yeah,
this
you
stuff
should,
at some point.
because the one thing I saw was the dude Tony Shalhoub's, whoever he portrayed.
Yeah.
The guy was pissed. Kershaw was pissed because he was like, these guys are made to be so likable in this movie.
Yeah.
And they're actually like fucking monsters in real life. They're not good people.
Makes sense. Makes
And
sense.
Yeah.
that pissed him off, apparently.
Also, none of them
But
look
they're so-
anything like the
Right.
people, which is fine that that's how it worked. But
Yeah.
these are
Right.
not big buff dudes. Like
yeah.
Well, I'm sure they're not anymore.
no, but like the pictures
their
of them
mug
getting
shots
arraigned.
don't look.
Yeah.
The Rock's guy is like a big, scary looking dude.
Yeah.
But not like The Rock.
No, he's not jacked.
Right. None of them look like the actors.
They
sort
do.
of Marky Mark a little bit.
I will say they do look like dum-dums who think that this would work.
Yes.
yeah.
That's true.
Every single one.
And
of them.
the Rock's guy looks like he just is following along with whatever.
Yeah. He looks like Lenny.
Yeah.
There you go. It was a pretty good movie.
It was funny.
Yeah, not
I
bad.
enjoy it.
Pretty good
It
movie.
was stressful for me because I didn't know if I was going to be able to see it or not.
Could have sworn I already watched it for this show,
No,
but apparently no.
Definitely
Definitely
not.
not.
This is
Yeah.
definitely
Definitely
the
not.
first time I've ever seen it.
definitely not. All right, well, you got a top 5 for
I
us?
do. This week is the return of the Champions League round of 16. So the top 5 round of 16 matchups that I'm most excited to see. Number 5, we've got Villarreal versus Juventus.
Juventus, my team.
Number
Juventus.
4 is Man United versus Atletico Madrid.
That's a decent one. Man, you should
It
kill,
is
but they won't.
bigger teams, but fairly defensive for Atletico. But number 3 is Benfica versus Ajax, just because Ajax is the hipster pick, and
Nah, who cares?
they're a lot of fun. Number 2 is Liverpool versus Inter Milan,
Liverpool's going to crush him. 3-0. 3-0.
and you know it's over 2 legs, but okay.
3-0 first game. The next game will be the run it out, and we'll get out of here with a 1-1 draw.
Touchdown. They go
they're
up by a
gonna,
touchdown.
They're going to win 3-0 in Milan.
Yeah, and then 1-1
come
draw at
home and just be like, we're good.
Yeah.
Okay. And number 1 is PSG versus Real Madrid. This is the big one. This is the
Unfortunately,
zero defense going on.
but again, we're going to see that PSG, like all of France, is not as good as the other leagues. I mean, PSG is the closest, but
I don't think
you are a soccer expert.
I don't think PSG is going to win this game
no.
or these
Wow.
games.
I
I
Don't
don't
either.
Wow, what a top 5.
Yep.
Looking forward to that. Quick hitters. NXT merge continues with not only Keith Lee but AQA, who was a part of NXT
I didn't.
and it's like quietly disappeared.
Recent, because I don't know who she
Yeah,
is. but-
she was there. She beat Tony Storm. That was I
Okay.
forget what her name was, but she beat Tony Storm there.
That's big.
And we were wondering what the hell is going on with that.
Nothing, apparently.
And apparently nothing because they just let her go. And now she is signed to AEW as well.
Wait, so her name is actually said AQA?
I believe so. AQA.
I don't know her, but
She had a different name in NXT, but
Do we know what the AQA
I
stands
don't. I don't know
for?
much about her, but she's a decent, pretty good in-ring worker. So we'll see what happens. GCW, the third promotion, signed Nick Gage to a lifetime contract.
I was going to say, so you're saying he wasn't already signed?
Nobody is officially signed to GCW. They're just
Oh,
brought in like PWG style,
Fuck Nick Gage?
and they officially signed Nick Gage, so he has a contract for life.
Fuck
That's
Nick
too bad.
Gage.
dumb move, GCW.
AEW
Waste of money.
signs 16-year-old wrestler Nick Wayne to a contract.
Probably also a waste of money.
That's weird.
He
That's college football recruiting. Like at its
100%. He was wrestling in Seattle at Defy Wrestling, and Darby Allin showed up at the show, which is where Darby Allin used to wrestle a lot because he's from Seattle.
Okay, makes sense.
Showed up with a contract, gave it to him, and apparently it kicks in when he's 18. When college finishes,
Yeah, I don't
it kicks
like this.
in when
this
he's
is
18.
skeezy. I don't like
Kicks
this at
in
all.
when he's 18. So
This feels dirty to me.
I don't know much about Nick Wayne. He's wrestled in GCW.
If you heard that Vince McMahon signed a 16-year-old, how would you think of that?
It's creepy.
Kind of weird, but he's not working there until he's 18. I don't know. They signed Brody Lee Jr., so
That's different
yeah.
in a lot of ways.
Sure. But he's a 9-year-old. So it is a little weird.
-1. There's
Negative
his
1.
name. There's his name.
Right.
This
See?
like
I
it's
remember
fine,
things.
but this
We'll
feels
see.
like dirty college football recruiting.
Yeah,
where
maybe.
they sign kids in 7th grade and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know much about Nick Wayne, if he's a good wrestler or not, but hopefully we'll see more of him.
Is he actually in school?
He's in college. He wrestles.
As a 16-year-old, he's in college.
No, I guess it's not college. He must be finishing high school then.
Yeah.
so he like wrestles in. Yeah,
He wrestles. Yeah, he must be in high school then. That must be it. Anyway, that's how numbers work. Sami Zayn is apparently going to face Johnny Knoxville at WrestleMania. You excited for this?
Can't wait to not see it.
Wow.
Woo! Johnny.
Because he's a very good
Knoxville.
wrestler, so let's put him in there with.
A 56-year-old
Knoxville.
man who's used to being just beat the shit out of.
Johnny Knoxville's 56.
He's old.
Oh boy,
I'll look it up.
he's
but
that old. Oh my god.
He's in his 50s, I'm pretty
Wow.
sure.
32.
No.
Just looked it up.
Jericho sends a message on Twitter to Kevin Owens, basically saying
Oh.
like, "I'll see you soon" or
Just,
something like that.
just 50.
okay,
Just
50.
50.
So Jericho talking trash to Kevin Owens on Twitter. You think this means
He
anything?
said what to him?
I'll see you soon. I didn't forget about the Festival of Friendship.
No, there's no
I
one.
don't
There's
think
no
there's
way
any-
That's just
he's
him.
not
He's
going
just
back.
trolled.
To talk.
Yeah.
He's not going back to WWE.
I don't think so.
And Kevin Owens isn't going to AEW, so
There you go.
this is nothing.
Is one thing that might be coming back. Jurassic Talk. Former segment on the show.
Oh boy.
Jurassic Talk.
Since you took Mike's sign off, sing
Yeah.
the song.
You're not as good as it.
Helen.
Helen. So we have to do a Jurassic Talk segment when that movie comes out. It
Based
looks
on the
fucking
previews,
garbage.
I want the dinosaurs to make humans extinct. Based on the
Yeah,
previews.
that's
I
what's
feel like I
happen.
should at least see that second Jurassic World movie before.
No,
You didn't see it?
No, I did
Oh,
not.
it's goddamn bad.
It's
You don't need to
it's
see
a
it.
movie. It's fine to watch. It's not good.
It's not
Is
good.
it
It's
on
probably on
something?
FX as the movies because they have the movies. Anyway,
I didn't
Jurassic
hate
Talk.
it as much as Ryan, but it's not good.
What's it called?
Stinks.
Fallen Kingdom.
Jurassic Universe or something.
It's not Jurassic Universe, but that's great. Jurassic Universe.
It is nowhere for free.
Oh, well, it stinks. So who
I'm
cares?
gonna need.
You sure it's not on Stars? Because Stars has weird, dumb movies.
It didn't say Hulu subscription on it.
Wow.
So
Anyway,
I'm gonna have to
Jurassic
get
Talk.
the
We're gonna-
Ghost on some.
You think we're going to go to
Dark
the
web.
movie theater and see this?
No,
Definitely.
no. I will not go give my money for these crappy ass movies.
What do you mean?
I'll go the night
This
before to make sure I get a good
And the
seat.
Fast and the Furious franchises. I
This
will
is
not.
much better than Fast and Furious.
Yes, still not good enough to give my money to it.
Okay.
Wow.
I saw at least the. Did we see the last one in the movie?
Which one? Jurassic Park?
The second one?
No, we saw the first one because that's
We
when
did.
Mike got really mad about the.
I've seen the second one. Where did
You
I
saw
watch
that with Doug, probably.
Oh, maybe.
Doug
Yeah,
sees all the
probably.
movies, right?
Doug does see all of the movies.
I believe the first movie we saw in 3D, Jurassic World,
I did see
and
it in
you and I
theaters.
were like, "It's okay. Like, it's not the greatest movie, but it's fine."
Yeah.
And Mike, the ghost, was so fucking mad
He really was.
and hated it.
Yeah.
And we're like, I mean, it's not good, but it's not terrible. It's not as bad as you're
Yeah.
getting way too worked up about this.
Yes, that's very true.
And then we had like a 20-minute argument about the babysitter. The babysitter who gets eaten.
Yeah, poor poor
yeah.
lady. She did nothing wrong.
That's what
She
Mike
did
was
not
saying, and
deserve
we
to
said
die.
no. She's a bad babysitter.
Yeah, she's a terrible babysitter.
That's
I
why
don't
she
know why,
died.
but I know she was a bad
That was the
babysitter.
argument. Bill and I were like, she was bad. She ignored the children, and so she got eaten.
I will say that Ghost sent us a message saying it's a tweet that says WWE has made a significant overture to get Stone Cold Steve Austin for a WrestleMania 38 match.
Good grief.
Yeah, of course. They
By this is said by Fightful Select.
Well, it's true then. Probably true if it's Fightful Select. That's Sean Ross Sapp. I don't think that dude's wrestling ever again. He might
No.
come out and stun some people, right?
Yeah,
And then just
At
chug some
the-
beers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he did to the Bray Wyatt crew, the Wyatt family that one time. Remember, he just came out and
So-
was that The Rock? No, The Rock did that. He set the WrestleMania sign on fire,
Yeah.
and then he came down to the ring and Rock bought Eric Rowan, and that was it.
Yep.
Yep.
So he's gonna come out and he's gonna stun all of the Jackass crew
Yep.
That would be
and then
fun.
chug some beers.
I like that.
I,
Good.
That's fine.
Why
but
not?
I don't-
Oh, so that means Johnny Knoxville is going to beat Sami Zayn then?
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
a prediction right there.
It's got to go over somehow.
That's a prediction right there. Okay, those are the quick hitters. Before we get to the next review, tweets of the week. I'm only going to do a couple here. First of all, Maka Ito back.
Yes.
You say that you're the cutest in the world? I'm the cutest in the world. I'll kill you and I'll piss on you, you
Yes.
piece of shit.
That was such
That
a
was the
fucking
best.
great video.
In an actual that wasn't a Twitter. That was
An actual
actual
press
press
conference,
conference
but if
said it.
somebody tweeted it.
I will kill you. I'll piss on you.
At Kaylin Ramos tweeted that, so shout out to you. This is a double whammy. At Hoop Mix Only, picture of Carmelo Anthony and John Cena in 2005. This pic is cold. At Carmelo Anthony. I only see me though.
Yeah.
Oh,
Carmelo getting in on the jokes.
Getting in on some jokes on
He
John
was a
Cena.
Nick.
He wasn't.
Getting in on some jokes.
Mild take. not hot take, mild take.
On who?
Carmelo Anthony is the best Nick of all time.
No, shut your mouth. Shut
God.
your dirty mouth.
Most talented Nick of all time.
Wow.
What are you going to say? Spreel's better?
No.
You going
Maybe
to say
Patrick?
Ward? You going to
Maybe
say
Patrick?
Ward is a better Nick?
Maybe Patrick Ewing?
Patrick Ewing, probably.
Patrick Chewing.
Patrick Ewing. This just absolutely floored me. On February 9th, Sean Ross Sapp, who we mentioned a minute ago, tweeted, I can confirm, big surprise, it's not Ryback.
Damn it.
So much Ryback talk. I can confirm it's not Ryback.
Be honest, though. If Ryback walked out in AEW, the crowd would go bonkers.
Oh, yes.
He would get a pop.
Would he?
Yes.
I hope not. Iron Sheik, 2 of them.
The Iron Sheik is becoming my second favorite behind Maki Ito.
This is yours. What's a sports record that'll never fall? Hulk Hogan has been big-time jabroni for 15,343 straight days. No one will break that ever, Bubba. That's one. And then the other one was this one from today. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone except that Hollywood blonde jabroni Hulk Hogan.
Oh, man.
And then, of course...
It's just roughly like 40-something years. The 15,000 days. It's like 42 years or something.
And then, whoever writes those, because it's not him, whoever
I'm
writes
sure
those does a great job. This is... He has to be in here every week. Danhausen. At Sue, your son swore at Danhausen. Please make him eat one soap. P.S. Can you get a PT Cruiser for me? Because he doesn't like swearing.
I like the Angelo Dawkins tweet. I don't want to go to Raw tomorrow.
Yeah, what was that about?
I looked into that because I just happened to see it. I think he's from Cincinnati. I think he didn't want the backlash of being such a Bengals fan.
I knew it wasn't like he actually wants to be fired. I didn't think it was that. Anyway, those are tweets of the week. All right. The next review is me. Now, I said something last week which was maybe going to be Righteous Gemstones, but I don't think it's going to be that.
Oh, really?
Good.
I don't think it's going to be that. I think it's going to be a new segment for my reviews.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
For the rest of the year, possibly.
Oh, no.
I hate that.
However many
I hate
weeks
this.
However many weeks this lasts.
Oh, I don't
We're
like
going to go back
this.
and watch all the Raws.
Nope. It's called... It might be a separate episode. Who knows? It's called a series called Put That Cigarette Out.
Oh, I like
Where
this.
we will review Royal Rumble 1 through whatever.
The match?
However
Just the
many
match?
there are.
Just
Just the Rumbles.
I'm into
Okay.
it.
All right.
Except
that
that means I have to
cigarette
watch
out.
a lot of WWE.
Put
Yeah.
that cigarette out. New segment
Okay.
of reviews where we will go through every single Royal Rumble
Spoiler
one at a
alert.
time, starting with WrestleMania, with Royal Rumble number 1. Just the match.
Oh, Hacksaw wins the first one. Let's
Just
spoil
the
that right
match. Just the
now.
match.
See how many in a row I can spoil.
And then I
Probably
want,
just one.
well, as we go through this, I want to rank the Royal Rumbles.
Okay.
I want an official list, a Nation of Conversation
That's going to lead
rankings.
to arguments because there's going to be somewhere like it's actually like there's some cool stuff that happens, but then Vince McMahon just puts himself over at the end.
Sure.
So it's gonna be interesting how that.
Maybe we
turns
need
out.
to come up with a point system or something to rate them.
I hate
As
this
like winner.
so much.
I'm cool with this. I like watching Royal Rumbles.
Maybe there needs to be like a rubric.
Also, it's like an
a
hour
rubric.
a week.
Is that what it's called? Rubric.
Rubric.
Yeah.
Maybe you need one of those. What do you think?
This might be the year that you guys lose me.
It's just the match. It's not the whole. It's not the entire pay per view.
I know, but
It's just the match. Of
Aren't
the
you
Royal
looking
Rumble.
forward to seeing the Warlord?
I don't even know what that is.
That's a guy that's going to show up in a
Exactly.
bunch of Rumbles to start this
Exactly.
segment.
Exactly. We need your opinion on the Warlord.
Oh my god.
The Berserker.
Sure.
They'll be there for a while.
Doesn't Benoit win like the third one?
Who? No, he didn't show up for.
Not the third one.
He didn't show up for
It's like
at least
20.
a decade.
At least
maybe
yeah,
2.
20 in
Really?
at least
Yeah.
probably.
But he went one to win.
Yeah.
He won
Well,
it from
no,
number
not,
one.
No, not really.
He won it from number one.
I mean, not really.
I
that
mean,
doesn't count.
Yeah, he won it from number one.
It doesn't count.
No, we start with Hacksaw Jim Duggan though.
All right,
I'll spoil
Royal
that.
Rumble.
Didn't you name all the Rumble winners one time?
I tried to see how many I could do.
He did everybody except for Yokozuna.
Yokozuna I couldn't come up with.
Right.
Forgot about Yokozuna.
There was one or two that I
The
helped.
second
you with.
one I'm struggling with, but I think I know who it is. I think it might be Big John Studd, but I want to think about that.
I remember specifically watching a Rumble that Big John Studd won.
I know that Hacksaw gets the first one.
You and I watched it in college, and Big John Studd won, and
Yeah.
we were like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah. And then it goes into Hogan, and then we get to Flair, and then I kind of lose it. But maybe I'll be able to pick it up as we go.
There you go. So this is a segment that I will do.
I want to like it
Each-
because I like Royal Rumbles, but I don't want to watch wrestling because I hate wrestling these days.
Mm.
Vince McMahon made me hate all of wrestling.
Bill, I will say you got the first 5 correct.
Okay.
Well, you have done this
I have
before.
seen them
You
all.
have done this before, so I expect your insight in there.
I know at some point Alberto Del Rio wins a 40-man Rumble.
Yeah, I don't know if we count Greatest Royal Rumble in this or not.
Well, we got some time to figure that out.
We'll start with the first regular ones.
No, that's a regular Royal Rumble that he wins a 40-man.
Yeah, that's a regular one.
Yeah.
There's
Is
also
Greatest a 50-man then? Or is it just a 30-man they call
I
Greatest?
think they just call it Greatest.
Okay. Anyway, put that cigarette out.
I like put that cigarette out. I
A new
assume you've already pulled that audio clip also.
A new segment. I have it somewhere. I think it's on my old computer. Put that cigarette out. A new segment
Okay.
for me for reviews, which
like-
will give me a thing
We might
for
even
most of the
see
year.
Colonel Rob Parker week 1. I'm not sure.
For
Colonel-
35 weeks, you will have that.
35 reviews, which is not as many reviews as I'll do in a year.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
It's
like
more.
2 years worth.
Yeah.
It's 2 years. I don't know if I'll do it every single time, but it's a project that I look forward to working our way through.
Okay.
And they're short because they're only an hour. So,
Oh, only an hour for one match.
Yeah.
well, it's a rumble. It's a rumble. Oh, well, when the show ends in 3 months, it won't matter.
Thank God.
All right, that's it. Peace out. We're done. Goodbye.
See ya.